family planning is non-existent in the Black community. True or false?
Yeah, it's true.
Why?
Yeah, that's true. It's very rare. The fact that I decided when to have my children was just rare. And I that was that's interesting. Um I feel why I feel as if marriage isn't prioritized in our community anymore, and people make a lot of excuses for it. And I feel like a lot of Black women don't actually know how to date anymore and vet, and we deal with BS in dating, and we feel like that's what we're supposed to deal with because that's what's being pushed to us. Well, that's what we see. It's a lot of baby mama culture that we see on social media, and we think it's normal, and we think that's what we should aspire to. And so, unfortunately, we don't know how to vet, and we don't know how to um, look for a husband or be strict in looking for a husband. And that leads us to being single moms because then we're like, well, I want to have a kid. So if I'm not going to get married, then he'll be a great dad, and not considering what's going to be a great husband as well. So the
But
family planning is out of the window.
but Britt, why are Black women so? Why are they so against marriage? And even when they do get married, when we talk about family planning, not because people get married means that they should necessarily have a kid right away. there
Right.
should be a time there should be a time when you have like your first kid, or when you bring children into the world. You should be in a certain place financially to where you can be like, you should already have certain things set aside, correct? Like, okay,
Hmm.
we know, like, okay, I want us to live in this neighborhood. I want them to go to this, caliber of school.
Hmm.
I really want to be able to take care of them. Not because we're married now means that we should bring some kid into the world when we staying in this one bedroom apartment, but we sleeping on the air mattress together. So,
Yeah.
but like, all you see, do you see when you see maternity shoots for Black women these days? Do you see more of a turn? I can't tell you the last time I seen a maternity shoot by a Black woman with the father actually there.
Nick Cannon's
We
always
we
there.
got we got Kiki Palmer. We got Kiki Palmer on Saturday Night Live, flexing her little baby bump. Not married. We got Summer Walker every other year, showing that she pregnant with a new guy, breaking up. Not married. All these women getting pregnant by Nick Cannon. Not married.
But he's always at the shoots. He's always at the maturity shoots.
Okay, he's always at the shoots, but that's him. My whole point is, I really, okay, other than Nick Cannon, what maternity shoots by Black women do you see the father there these days? What, y'all let me know in the comments. I ain't been looking at the comments. In the comments, y'all let me know all these Black women having all these maternity shoots, and you never see a man there. You never see a man there. You know they don't be married, and you never see a man there. Why is that? Let's talk about it.
What do you think? Why do you think the men aren't there?
Because they are attracted to, and they are attracted to men that, first of all, these women be dealing with Ladarius already be having 4 kids by four different women. And I don't know if they be trying to change them. I don't know if Ladarius just lay it down right. I don't know if he's just that charming and charismatic, if he's just that suave. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I don't deal with these men, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I'm trying to get a perspective from a woman.
I don't
Why
deal
is
with
that?
Ladarius.
Why is that?
I don't know why Ladarius. Listen, I really wish I knew why, but I feel like it's a deeper reason if I just look at the system, and them feeling inadequate. Like, I think deep down, men, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, want to be heroes in their stories. Like they want to be the hero, they want to be the leader, they want to be the protagonist, right? But if you're a brokey in American society and you have all these kids, how can you be that? it's impossible. Like you can't do it. So sometimes I think they literally just disappear because they can't handle the fact that they're the villain in their story or they're the loser in the story. Like they're the one that needs to get killed off in the story. They just don't have anything to stand on. So they just run away and pretend like it's pretend like that isn't a part of their story.
So what needs to happen to get prioritizing family planning? Like what needs to happen for that to become a thing in the Black community?
Brittany, did you change your hair? I love it. I did. I got color. Thanks. Um, Again, I think a vetting process, and I think men and women need to be more proactive in the dating lives of the next generation. I feel like that is number one. For instance, okay, so my old nanny, right? She used to work for another family at night, and they were an Asian family. And the mom, when she got married, was telling her that in their culture, the husband has to give had to give her family $200,000 just to ask her for her hand in marriage. And once they actually went down the aisle and got married, her family had to give back 50%. So they keep 100,000, they give 100,000 back. And it's like taboo to not give it back. It like destroys the family trust and whatever. But up front, and she was like, and she's the average girl in her society. She was like, obviously, the higher up you are socially, the more money you have to give to the family, whatever. And we don't have anything like that. Like you said, like people are getting married and they live in the one bedroom thing and blah 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 blah. There's no checking of the receipts to make sure you can even afford for this to be your wife, that you can even afford to give a life, that type of life, to that woman. I remember my father was talking to my boyfriend at the time that then I got married to later. He was talking to him and telling him things about affording me. Like I remember that conversation he was having with him to make sure he understood that to afford me was going to be something else. And he was like, "Oh no, he's explaining how he could afford me when he was my boyfriend, that he could afford to date me." And we don't have that in our society. And someone said, "Girl, but yeah, because you ghetto. You don't want to actually have legacy." I'm talking about people who actually want to have legacy, who actually want to build our community up, who actually want to get rid of all the pookies and make sure the pookies are single and they don't procreate. And if they procreate, and they procreate with some other race and not ours.
Brit. So so okay. So like this. So if a young woman, all these women, all these Black women be talking about generational curses, and they're the same woman that they grew up with that single mother. They grew up with that struggling single mother. They never met their dad. They really don't know their dad. But they go into the real world and do the exact same thing, Britt. So please make that make sense for me. So
Say what?
you saw your mom struggle. You saw your mom struggle. You don't have now one full-blooded sibling. You seen what she went through to try to take care of you and your brother, or you and your two siblings, however many of them it was. And then when you grow up, you go outside and do the exact same thing that your mother did and put yourself in the exact same position as your mother. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's trauma. Like they need to go to therapy. They need to go to therapy before they do anything else. Like they need to go to therapy. They need to heal their wounds. They need to be honest with themselves so they can make better choices for themselves, because we are creatures of familiarity. If we see something that is familiar to us, even if it's bad, we will gravitate toward it. So you really have to do a lot of different soul searching and healing, an entire process. And it's unfortunate there are so many people in our culture that are going through that, you know? Like it's unfortunate, but it's a real problem that we have, and we really need to stop like brushing over it and acting like someone's stupid or someone you should be smarter than that when you're really functioning from trauma and like literally a mental illness.